We unfortunately missed last week. I know it's my fault. Life gets in the way sometimes, so we had to come guns blazing, coming back, mock draft peer review version 2. Let's get at it. Welcome to another episode of the No Ceilings Podcast. I'm Tyler Metcalf, joined as always by Tyler Rucker. Rucker, how are we doing?
Fantastic. Now that we're back, Metcalf. I felt terrible missing last week, but as you said in the opener, life gets in the way sometimes. Me and you get like really frustrated and crushed when we have to miss this one, especially this year. So
we really tried to move heaven and earth to get it to work last week, but we just could not. We couldn't do it. So apologies, folks. But we got a fun one today.
One year, people will see like a tell-all of like everything, the hurdles we have to move around. And look, we're very fortunate. We're blessed because of the fans. Like we have this opportunity, but it's also like, Kev and I always joke, like, how do we make the week longer? So it was just one of those weeks where we were like, oh, bummer. We got to cut this one. And that's why I think we were like, all right, let's set the tone. Let's give everyone a nice little gift and bring back peer review. So I'm pumped, Metcalf. It's just, whew. I can't believe it's January only. Unbelievable. How are you doing?
Almost February. Hanging in day by day. But we got a little announcement from the NBA of when the combine and the lottery are May 10th. Very excited for that. We'll get some answers for draft order. When we do these kinds of exercises, let it sink in a little bit more. But we got a ton of awesome content up on the site over at noceilingsnba.com. All of my scouting files for what I watched throughout this last week and game notes up on Friday. I think that's scheduled for noon Eastern typically. And then I also just submitted a really fun in-depth write-up on Moroz Johnson that I think is going up next Thursday. So you got a little bit of time for that, but keep an eye out for it. Felt really, really good to just dive back in on a specific player. And for me, one of the guys that has been one of my favorite players this entire draft cycle. And then Rucker, you did an awesome video up on the No Ceilings YouTube looking at AJ DeBonce's and one of his off nights.
Yeah, new segment I thought about recently. I kind of was pretty pumped about it, and I brought it up to Metcalf, and he was like, run with that. That's a great idea. So I basically just wanted to do a video of like, hey, I'm guilty of it. Everyone's guilty of it. You always chase the box scores that look fun, and I want to watch that game. And I was like, let's do the opposite. Let's talk about the off night. Let's talk about the game where guys struggled and try to showcase like, hey, this is how they still are making an impact in the game. So I did. First one was AJ DeBance against Arizona. I took a lot of stuff that I really liked, and I'm gonna run with that. I'm bringing tape time back. I'm stepping it up, folks. Finally got some time to start cooking a little bit, and I'm gonna be writing a ton at the site too. So it was just kind of cool being like, all right, I got to a point where I can pivot. And gosh, the No Ceilings team's been incredible this year. So you guys have been some good motivation to be like, all right, let me see if I still got the old fastball. So yeah, a lot of great stuff. And I know we're all I think the whole team is just aching for these upcoming months. We're ready to roll. Like everyone's just got that itch. That itch at the casino where you're like, I can feed me more. I think everyone's pumped up. We got a lot of fun stuff rolled up the sleeve.
Well, speaking of fun stuff, we got this episode, which is a mock draft peer review. So what we did, we each conducted our own 1 through 30 picks using the standings on Tankathon as of January 29th. So if you're listening to this a day later or a week later and you're like, these morons, it's as of January 29th. So things likely may have changed. But we each made our own lists, and we're going to run through the picks 5 at a time, share likes, dislikes, differences, all that kind of stuff. And for this exercise, I really, really tried to stick to my tiers on my big board. There are a couple times I went outside of it, but for the vast majority, I really tried to stick to my big board and try and stay true to the exercise of crafting the big board and tiering guys out like that. But Rucker picks 1 through 5. Um, I'll give you the floor. Who did you have?
Yeah, we're gonna have graphics on the screen for the diehards that really care about that, so everyone can be tracking along. But are we going one by one or just first five?
Just rip off your 5.
Okay, so at 1 to the Wizards, I had Darren Peterson. At 2 to the Atlanta Hawks via the Pelicans, I had AJ DeBansa. 3 to the Sacramento Kings, I had Cameron Boozer. 4 to the Indiana Pacers, Caleb Wilson. And 5 to the Brooklyn Nets, I had Kingston Flemings. Hit me.
All right. We had 4 of the same names, a little different order. At 1, I had Darren Peterson. 2, I went Cam Boozer to the Hawks. 3, AJ DeBonsa to the Kings. 4, Caleb Wilson to the Pacers. 5, I went Keaton Wagler to the Brooklyn.
I knew that was going to be a Wagler pick. You are so predictable. It's unbelievable. Okay, let's talk it out. This is great. No, this is a fun 5. So Boozer at 2. Fit. What were you thinking?
Fit, upside. Jalen Johnson's gotten so freaking good. And I get that you can't really have too many of those guys, especially, and just look at the Celtics with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. It's having 2 really dynamic, explosive, versatile on-ball creator wings like that. If it goes right, it looks incredible, and you're legitimately contending for titles. My worry is that there'd just be a little too much overlap with those guys in terms of style, how they like to operate, areas of the floor that they like to operate in. And I think Boozer just really elevates the floor, the field, the versatility, the execution of that entire lineup every time he's out there. I think he's someone that can play next to Onyeka Okongwu. I think he's can occasionally play some small ball 5. You don't love it, but situationally, I think he can do that. If Porzingis ever gets healthy, I think that's an awesome running mate in the front court with him, and just the overall basketball IQ that he would immediately inject into that team, I think would be a really nice compliment, and just really raise not only the floor but the ceiling of that team.
Yeah, I think it would be a really smart pick from Atlanta. I would be like surprised, but also be like, that's a smart organization. Just being like, hey, let's get the star in this class that might have the highest floor as well. And he's still got a really high ceiling. So I like that. I went AJ there because I'm like, hey, you're picking top 2. I still think, regardless of what people think with AJ, there's still some special gifts. I know he's,
Yeah.
you could give me the, hey, top 100 competition, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, how about, how's that worked out before this? Like he's been dominating all types of competition his whole basketball life. And I think there's still special gifts in those games where he struggled, where you're watching, you're like, there's not a lot of people that can do this. So I think it's going to come down to it. It's going to be like, hey, those are Darren and AJ are going to be the upside swings. And after that, the party's going to get started. But I love Cam Boozer. So I really don't think there's going to be a wrong pick with those 3 guys.
Yeah. Caleb Wilson to the Pacers felt super easy for me. Like, what better guy for him to learn from than Pascal Siakam?
Yeah. I mean,
and then just like the pace, the athleticism, the ranginess with him, with that high tempo, chaotic style that Indiana plays, especially when they're healthy. It just kind of felt like a match made in heaven to me.
I think if you're a Pacers fan, you end up at 4. I think you might be sad, but I think you could really be looking back in a couple years after and be like, we landed the perfect guy. Yeah. Because I think that pick could be a home run if it's Boozer somehow. If it's Caleb Wilson, I think it could just be like, oh my gosh, what a great pick. Like I think we could look back and be like, Caleb Wilson was one of the best picks in this draft, because I think there's so much talent waiting to get unlocked with his game. So I think that's a great fit. I would love Boozer there just because of
yes, I'd love Darren there. I'd love AJ there.
I think a lot of prospects would like that too. So but that's a fun one. I like the Brooklyn picks for both of us.
I thought about Kingston. So like on my board, I have Kingston 5, Wagler 6. I went Wagler. Just the size. I think I don't know. I've been just blown away with him all season. The two-way versatility. I think he's a little more effective and versatile off the ball as well than Kingston. Not saying Kingston's bad by any means. I don't think there's a bad. None of this is an argument against Kingston. It's more so just seeing Wagler's positional versatility with some of the ball handlers and creators that Brooklyn has already brought in the draft via trade, all that kind of stuff, and just the way they like to play. I like it a lot. Where I really leaned a little more towards Kingston was the defensive impact and how good the Nets were defensively in December, and what Flemings could do to add to that with his hands and jumping passing lanes, creating deflections and all that kind of stuff. Why'd you go Kingston?
I got Kingston at 5 on my board, and I've been in love with Kingston. I think it's as close to being like, I've got the top 4 kind of pretty set right now, and Kingston's pretty close to being set there. I just think the world of him as a prospect. I think he's a stud. I think if he's on the board at 5, go get him. But I will say, the guy I have right behind him is making me fall in love too, and that's exactly who you picked with Keaton Wagler. Like,
do you have Wagler at 6 on your board too?
Yeah.
Do we have the exact? We have the exact same.
And I swear, we never talk. It's creepy. I mean, we talk a little bit, but
we don't run through our board.
Here's my thing. Yeah, here's my thing with Wagler. Now, let's talk to Brooklyn Nets fans real quick. They're going to be like, we just took all these guards. No, you didn't take these guards. Yeah. This class is Metcalf. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but probably one of the best guard classes I've seen in maybe since we've been doing No Ceilings. This guard class is incredible.
Yeah, like I don't think Seraph or Traore would have been first rounders in this year's class.
And Jaeger is going to be one of these versatile Swiss Army knife. You can have him run the offense. You can have him play off the ball. Like, that's why I think his 3-point shooting volume this year is the loudest development for him. Like, that is a very positive sign. So you get Kingston, you get Wagler. Like, Wagler would be an unbelievable fit for them because you're bringing in a real dangerous shooter, a real smart player, a combo guard. You're getting another version of Jaeger with like hey, he can run the offense, he can play off the ball. Like, you're 6'6" now and 6'9" next to each other. That's fun.
Yeah.
Kingston, I just went that way because I think Kingston's got a little bit of he got that little bit of alpha point guard mentality that you want to really unlock the rest of that team. So I would want hey, Kingston's going to be ready to go to war anytime. He's really electric with the ball in his hands. He's not afraid of the moment. I don't think you can go wrong with that pick.
Yeah.
And I think this is the year, hey, Brooklyn fans might be like, we don't need another point guard. Yes, you do. You need franchise pieces. And this is the draft where if you're picking there, take one and be happy about it.
Especially because I don't like any of the bigs at this spot. I absolutely don't like any of the wings at this spot. And just this range is super, super guard heavy for me. So, and none of those point guards have proven this year that's hey, no, this guy's a future starter. And it's I don't know, maybe one day, but I think pretty quickly either of these guys would come in right away. And just side tangent, I think something that Kingston would provide that's super different from Wagler is that immediate rim pressure where he just gets downhill. He plays at a different speed than everyone else, than basically anyone else on the Brooklyn Nets right now. Wagler's a little more of that methodical downshifting creator, doesn't have that explosiveness to turn the corner, isn't yamming on guys at the rim. Kingston's a little more of that style, but I think I like Wagler a little more as a shooter. So it's kind of just pick your poison.
Yeah, I wanted to echo what you just said because we're going to get to this range coming up in this next 5 picks, but I got to a certain point where I was looking for another position.
Yeah.
To try, and I was like, I'm not going that low on my board. Now there's picks later in this first round that I pick guys that I have way lower because I was like, I could see it being a fit, but it's you've been saying it for a while. We've been saying it a long time. Like, when you get to these other positions in this draft, there's a quick drop. There's a quick drop off. it's not deep on the wings. So like teams are going to be like, are we going to take the guy that's 5th ranked? Like, are we, the 5th option on our board? Like, we got 4 guys better than him, but just because we want that position, like, I don't think so. I think you're going to go best player available. So it's a lot of the guards.
Give me your 6 through 10.
All right, my 6th pick. Great timing. Utah Jazz, Keaton Wagler. Memphis Grizzlies at 7. I went. This one was annoying. Took too long. I went Michael Brown Jr.
Okay.
We can vent about that. 8 for the Milwaukee Bucks. I did Jayton Quaintance. Really don't like that. 9 Dallas Mavericks. I did Acuff, and 10 to the Charlotte Hornets. Pause for effect. I did Braden Burries.
Okay.
There's the curveball I was gonna warn you about, and I'm ready for all the heat that wants to get thrown that side.
Okay. At 6 for the Jazz, I went Kingston Fleming's. Same reasoning that we just talked about with the Nets, basically. 7 Grizzlies, I also went Michael Brown Jr. 8 for the Bucks, I went Darius Acuff.
That's a good one. I almost did that. That's good. 9
for the Mavs. I kind of think this is worst case scenario for you for the Mavs.
Yeah.
Because there's a big drop off in terms of point guards for me at this range.
None of you like Phylon. I hate
he's
it.
fine. He's fine.
I think he rocks. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's fine.
Say it.
This is the first time I reached from my tiers. So this is where I broke my rule. I went lower on my board. I went Nate Ament. Mainly just because I also kind of wanted to see what it would do to the board if it fell this way, because I do think he's probably going to go fringe top 10. And then at 10 to Charlotte, I went Morez Johnson.
Can you run those last 2 by me one more time? I just want to see if it sits better.
Nate Ament to the Mavs, Morez Johnson to the Hornets.
Okay, 10 set a little bit better.
A little.
Wow. All right. Okay, so
I did not like
the
Mavs pick. It took me legitimately 20 minutes to make that pick.
Well, I don't like them. I don't like my Milwaukee pick, and I wanted to go Acuff. I just was like, I kept. Here's my problem with the Milwaukee pick, and I have respect for Bucks fans, except for those that are Packers fans. Me and Metcalf don't like them. So right there, I was like, well, Ryan Rollins. I just kept saying like Ryan Rollins. You got Ryan Rollins, and I was like, are the Bucks really going to trade this guy? Like, no. And then I was like, we're not doing these with hypothetical Giannis stuff. So I need to stop thinking like, oh, there's a log jam. Like, how would he play with Rollins? Because I think this roster is just depleted, and you have to get.
I viewed it as everyone's up for grabs, and it's going to look totally different. So I went best player on my board. And for me, that was Darius Acuff. I love what Rollins has done this year. I think if the Bucks are smart, they would sell high and try and get a first for him.
Look, and let me vent some before I get people coming after me for the Quaintance pick. Let me vent something to you that I kind of vented, or to everyone that I vented to you off the air. Really scared about Quaintance.
Mm-hmm. I haven't even taken him yet.
Yeah, I know you haven't. So like I got to that point and I'm like thinking like, okay, in my head, I'm like, hey, right now, you're probably assuming he gets healthy, everything's a green light, maybe he has a good combine process. And then I was like, the big man class is very shallow. Do I think if everything went right and he's healthy, he's getting out of the top 10? And I was like, you know what? Right now, no. This was before also there was a report out that Kentucky has completely shut him down, and not for the year. They're just saying like he's not close to returning right now. Like I think they're trying to really be careful with his knee because it's swelling up. So I'm terrified. So look, I put Quaintance there right now because I just was like, I like some of the bigs, but I don't know if you would go swing for those other guys with the 8th pick. And I was like, I think this is probably Quaintance upside swing. And if you're the Bucks, maybe you're like, hey, we're rebuild status anyways. Let's get some upside potential here. But I like your pick better. Okay, talk to me. Amen. I sort of get. I think he could get up there. I don't think it's that nuts.
So,
I think it
my,
is worst case scenario for Dallas. You're correct.
yeah, I don't love it, but I would much rather, if I was a Mavs fan, I'd much rather have Darius Acuff fall there. I'd much rather have Michael Brown, Kingston Flemings, Keaton Wagler fall there. Those guys are all off the board. And I viewed it as, all right, so I viewed it as assuming the Mavs not making any major roster changes going into next year. So that means a fully healthy Kyrie Irving at point, a fully healthy Anthony Davis, I guess, whatever that looks like, and Cooper Flag on the wing. So you have three really high volume, high usage, impactful offensive and defensive players. What they don't really have is a high upside complementary wing. And I think that would be a situation where Ament could go in, do very little, have expectations be very low, play off ball, learn how to defend at a really high, really consistent level, continue to add to the length on that front line, and continue to grow as that off ball scorer playing off of Flag and Kyrie and Anthony Davis. So that's kind of how I viewed it, and it just taking a big old home run swing. I don't love it. I really like how Ament looked against Alabama. I thought he did fantastic in that game. I thought it was the best game I've seen from him this year, and I'm hoping he continues to build off of that, and that's the guy that we see for the rest of the year. If that is, then I think he's probably legitimately in this late lottery conversation. But it's just one game, which I broke down over on the No Ceilings YouTube channel. Go check it out if you haven't. It's just kind of taking that upside swing. I didn't love it, but I also kind of didn't hate it. And I also wanted to see how my board would play out with him going top 10.
Look, for any Mavericks fan, you probably my pick rocked, so don't worry about it. But I think the bigger thing is like this could happen. This could I think Nate could get back up in here. And look, I'm with you. Like anyone's been following since the beginning of the year, they know how I feel about Nate Ament. It's pretty much like I'm the cooler on that one.
I shared the same concerns, and he's much lower on my board.
But I watched the Bama game, and I was like, now that guy I would take in the lottery, because it's like a joke. Like I'm like, gosh, did someone insult him before the game? Like he just looked pissed off. But he looked confident. He looked assertive, and even the shots he was missing, I was like, he's determined. He knows where he wants to get. Like, all right, I can get with this. I could believe in this. But it's one game. So like I watched that game and I was like, whoa, I was not ready for this. This is fantastic. Like there's a couple tough drives, there's some couple beautiful finishes. He got to his spots. He didn't make things complicated. If you get that at 6'10", yes, I get that at the 9th pick.
And if you're the Mavs and all of these point guards are off the board, and let's say Ament just ends up 80% of what some people were trying to sell him as coming into the year, that's a heck of a player to get at 9.
Great value. It's great value at 9. And look, if it hits, now your wings are 6'9" Cooper Flag and 6'10" Nate Ament. Okay, you're getting pretty jumbo. Like that's fun. So I like that. It's creative.
Okay. So the reasoning at least made a little sense.
Yeah, because I can't wait to hear your comments on this. It's going to be hilarious. But this is the thing is like we do so many of these. Yeah. You are trying, like, I know what you're trying to say. People are going to overreact to you saying like, oh, I just threw him there to kind of see how the rest of the draft, but it's like,
well, that's what measured. I didn't take Dwayne Aristotle and put him back in my top 10. Right. Like I did it with a sense of like, okay, I think this guy could still go in this range.
I don't think it's that. It was just more of a like I blindsided, but I like the creativity. Do you think Charlotte fans like us right now?
Probably not.
Okay, I think they should be stoked. We give them 2 good players.
I like both of them quite a bit.
Merez is fun at 10. I know you're hot on that train right now, but I also think you're onto something.
If Jane Quains was doing what Merez is this year, people would be trying to shoehorn him into the top 3 conversation.
I'm getting shirts printed with that quote. I'm gonna only make one for you. It's great. It's fantastic.
I'm going to keep saying it because his numbers are bonkers. They're so good.
They're great. They're fantastic. I feel the same way about Burries. No, Burries is my like, hey, I'm all in. This is me saying I'm all in on a podcast, but
he's starting to climb really quickly.
My gosh, he's the best player in the BYU game. Best player on the court.
Yeah.
Wasn't close either. I think he's been fantastic. Do I think he would really be going top 10? He'd need to be doing this for another month or two, but wouldn't shock me because of what you just said of like point guards could, we see in every draft, like all of a sudden here comes the run of player. It's like, okay, if you really want to get a guard, we don't know what they're going to do with LaMelo. I'm always saying that, whatever. I'm getting a combo guard.
I think they're building around him. I think they're keeping him because him, Brandon Miller, and Khan have been incredible together.
Well, that's fine. I'm still would take Burries because I think you're getting you're getting a combo guard. Yeah, you're getting a combo guard at 6'4". Like you could, gosh, I can't believe I want to say this. Like you could sort of say he plays a similar style to Khan of like he plays physical, he plays balanced, he plays composed, and he can either run the offense or he can play off the ball, and he's really smart and doesn't force. So yeah, get me another smart player. I think that's the same reason you get Merez there. Is you're getting a smart player to build depth. And like, that's how the Hornets start really taking steps forward is you keep getting these smart, don't swing for the fences all the time, hit a double, hit a triple. And you're going to be really surprised at how good this team's going to turn. So I like both those picks.
God. And then for opposing teams to have to go from dealing with Moussa Diabate on the boards and his craziness to then Merez Johnson coming in. Whew, sign me up.
Good. Okay.
11 through 15. What do you got?
Okay, OKC at 11 via the Clippers. I had Braylon Mullins. Everyone run for your lives. Portland at 12. I took LeBaron Philon. I hated that pick. I don't know what to do with Portland ever. 13 Chicago Bulls. I did Koa Pete. 14 to the Spurs via the Hawks. I took Yoxel Lindenberg.
Oh, okay.
And 15 to the Miami Heat. I added Heat Culture, Christian Anderson.
Okay. We differed quite a bit here.
Yeah, this is where we're going to start getting fun, boys and girls. So hit me with it.
11 to the Thunder, I went Quaitons, which would just be an insane get if he hits for that team.
They already have a much better version of Quaitons. He's going to be a rookie next year. Thomas Sorber.
Well, yeah, but I wanted another guy with knee injuries.
If you want to back up, it's fine. It's,
12 to Portland, I went Braylon Mullins. They're last in the league in three-point shooting. I know he's at like 36%, but
it's okay. They're getting Scoot back soon.
13 to the Bulls, I went Adaimara. 14 to the Spurs, I went Thomas Hauck. 15 to the Heat, I went LeBaron Philon.
Philon to the Heat's a good one. I like the Mara swing. It's very Bulls-ish. And then Thomas Hauck to the Spurs. I'm trying to stop doing it because I like it too much.
Yeah,
good variance.
That was one I just couldn't quite stop doing.
What did we have in previous years that I swear we were just like, this would be perfect. This would be perfect. Last year was Carter Bryant to Portland, which they just apparently.
Last year was a lot of Cedric Howard and Carter Bryant to Portland and San Antonio.
The Mark Williams year, we might have done Mark Williams to the Hornets like 55, like 87% of mock drafts we did, where we were just like, hey, I can't stop doing Mark Williams to the Hornets. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to, but it's perfect. And they drafted him. I was like, thank you. Yeah. I never know what to do with Portland. Mullins would be a great get there. That's kind of why I put him to OKC, because I was like, it'd be a fun one. Mara.
We need to talk about Yoxel.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Do you realize how awful he's been?
No, I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it. I like him.
So
talk to me. I need to catch up on stuff.
Through December 31st, numbers were insane. BPM of 19.6, effective field goal rate at 69.3, rebounding rates of 7.4 on offense, 18.5 on defense, 20.6 assist rate, just a 10.5 turnover rate, block rate of 5.1, steal rate of three, 77.8% on 2-pointers, 40.4% on threes. In the month of January, his effective field goal rate dropped to 42.2. His defensive rebounding rate dropped to 15.2. His assist rate dropped 6% to 14.7. His steal rate dropped 0.5%. His 2-point percentage dropped 20% to 56.5. His 3-point percentage dropped to 16.2.
So you're telling me I have a new off night target?
And I will
How bad
clarify,
has the tape been?
he's been battling like a supposed calf injury. So hopefully that's a legitimate thing that is bothering him and really affecting his game. But he's out there. So I have to go off of what is happening on the court. And it's been awful this month. It's not to say that once he gets fully healthy, he can bounce back. But there's been a heavy, heavy reversion to the mean with his shooting and scoring efficiency.
So that's injury number 2 that he's had this year. Because he started the year with was it the wrist or the thumb?
Wrist.
They brought him off the bench or something. Look, it's also like the worst time of the year to get an injury.
Yeah.
And it's the worst time of the year to get injury if you're a title contender, because you don't want to sit conference play. You can't really sit a guy out. That's so important. Like Yoxel, he doesn't want to sit out because he doesn't want to be like, I'm going to sit out and we're all of a sudden going to lose. Like, but you can also see when he's struggling, this team's vulnerable. Like you keep seeing a couple games where you're like, Michigan's down 10 was, 8 minutes left. Like, oh, geez. Like, yeah, I keep looking. I was like, gosh, they're going to get upset tonight. And I need to catch up on some Michigan film. So I like when I do those catch ups because you get 3 prospects at once. It's fun.
Yeah.
Like
when he's tried to get downhill, it's largely been good. Not as good as it was, but that's what happens when you shoot 16% from 3 for a month. What's more concerning for me is the defense, because it has been a disaster. I like the defensive playmaking numbers are still pretty much what they were, because he's got really good hands. He gambles on stuff, but his communication, his rotations, his recognition on switches, it's rough. Like if you watch the Nebraska game, you will see him screw up at least 10 switches or leave Price Sanford wide open for a corner 3, which is always a bad idea. It's been really tough. So I'm hoping that this is 95% based on a calf injury that he's been nursing, and he's able to get healthy soon and bounce back, because I am a Michigan fan. I'm not rooting for any of this, but I'm also going to remove my bias when I'm scouting these guys. And it's been night and day from what we saw at the start of the year.
Is there like so if he's got a calf injury, is there like a target of like, when it started? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
like,
I think
when you like rumor you want to watch those games.
I think it was early in the month. So I think he's kind of been nursing it pretty much the entire month. I know it was flaring up when they went and did their West Coast road trip, where they were out there for a couple games in a row, and they looked for blood clot. There wasn't anything there, but there was swelling and stuff. So who knows?
It's always good.
But he's out there playing the full game. So
look, just whenever you hear something like that, then you like I go, investigation, X-Files mode, where I'm like, all right, let's watch the game before. And you like try to see, like, is he running noticeably different? I forget who I did that with, one guy, but I was like, oh, yep, I could tell. Like you definitely could pop. It might have been someone last year. I'll have to remember, but I get it. It's I still like Yoxel. Right now, I get it. I'm probably gonna watch the film tonight and then be like, we have to scrap the whole episode. I'm gonna project in 25th. But no, I still love Yoxel. I think he's gonna be another guy that probably goes later than we're wanting, and I'm gonna be like, this happens every year, guys. We have to realize this is the way. But I like your Hauk pick. I think he would be a perfect Spur.
Yeah,
he'd be perfect for them.
Yeah.
In honor of our own Nathan Grubel, where are you at with Christian Anderson?
Not that high.
Okay, all right.
Well, we'll get to him later.
Nathan, I still love him. So just
He's a
shoot
very
me a
good player.
text.
He's a very good player.
He's a very good player. He's playing good. I'm excited to see. Got a couple big boy games coming up. I want to keep seeing it, but I think he's been great. So he's the one that I continue to be like, I don't know if he goes back another year. And here, look, before everyone overreacts to what I just said, I have how many guards going right now, and we haven't even gotten out of the top 20. I've got
We haven't gotten out of the top 15.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He was my 8th guard. No, I'm sorry, he was 9th off the board, and just got 15 picks. Like, I think you could get an absolute steal in the point guard position late, but I also don't know if some of these guys are going to be like, I should be going top 10. It's like, well, then go back to school.
Well, and if his feedback is in the 20s, he should go back to 10.
He should go back.
He'll make $3
I don't
million.
think it will be, but
Heck has money.
no, I know that.
They're
I'm just saying, I don't think his feedback will be top. I think it'll be like before top 20, because the rest of the positions are thin.
The wing is. There's some good bigs in this class.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll move on. Let's save that for another day.
We'll get to it. 16
16
through 20. Yeah. Him.
Memphis via the Orlando Magic. So Memphis Grizzlies, I had Amari Allen. OKC at 17, I had Merez Johnson Jr.
God, you hate my sweet.
And I can't believe this next pick, Metcalf. 18 to Golden State, I did Kareem Lopez.
Okay.
We can talk about it. 19 to Toronto, Chris Sinak.
Okay.
20 to Atlanta via Cleveland, I did Nate Ahmet.
Okay. This is a gross range.
That felt the same. Felt the exact same. Look, guys, I tried. I've really tried on every pick, and I was trying to be like, what? Don't think with just your board. Think of also like. So I did the opposite of Metcalf. I was trying to be like, okay, just because I don't like a guy, like who do I think could really go in this range? Even though I don't agree with it. Go ahead, Metcalf. Memphis, 16.
Memphis, I went Koa Pete. 17 to the
pick.
Thunder, I went Amari Allen. 18 to the Warriors, I went Braden Burries. 19 to the Raptors, I went Ngongba. And 20 to the Hawks, I went Ben Sturts.
I feel like you guys really like Sturts to Atlanta. I'm wondering if you guys just have some. I mean, that'd be great. If they got Boozer and Sturts with your pairing, I think that's really smart. Burries to Golden State would be one of my favorite fits. I just don't know if he lasts there, but I think
I think as of today, that's probably the range. Like you're definitely, I think, hotter on him than.
Oh, I'm projecting forward. I don't think he would go 10th right now.
No, but
I'm having fun.
Yeah. I have Merez at 9 on my board. I don't think he's going 9 on draft night. It honestly wouldn't shock me if he returns. I don't know.
Like if he's on the board at 17, does Minnesota call OKC and say we want to come up for Burries?
Maybe. I like that fit a lot. I like that fit a lot more than what I gave Minnesota.
Yeah, you're. I don't know what I did with Minnesota. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, I did that, but I like your Amari Allen to OKC is really nice. Pete at 16 is like perfect. I like Koa Pete, but I feel like he's just like you got him at 16, and I'm like, that's a good pick. That's perfect.
I kept waiting for him to do anything in that BYU game, and nope.
His last like 8 games or something is like 15-6, and it's the quietest 15-6. Like
it seems like he's either incredible or totally invisible. And I'm still not there with the defense.
Is he like modern day only offense, Horace Grant.
Oh, jeez, there's so much there. I don't know what to do with that.
My point being, is he the perfect rotation asset alongside? Like, I look at Cole Pete and I'm like, go to a playoff team. Go to a playoff team. He'd be
And
so good. Go
is
to a
he
playoff
just
team.
what the Grizzlies wanted or got from Brandon Clark when he was healthy?
I hate it. I hate how perfect that comparison is because Brandon Clark at Gonzaga was like one of my favorite prospects. I loved him. He just film wise, I watched it. I was like, gosh, this guy can play. I thought he was just going to be so much better.
Like,
I think also he might have.
healthy.
Well, I need to investigate. I think like his shooting coach and Johnny Davis's shooting coach might have like ran a class
like,
together.
Hey, do you never want to get a job again? Yeah, me either. Let's do this. Yeah,
His
because
shot wasn't that terrible at Gonzaga. It was fine.
He totally reworked it from, was it San Jose State? Was he?
Yeah, San Jose
Where
State.
it was a disaster, and then he went to Gonzaga, totally reworked it, got it to a workable spot, and then they redid it again in the pros.
We gotta call some of these guys out.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be like, hey, my shot's terrible. Can you just fix it? And maybe it'll be so bad it'll actually start going in.
But no, they would screw up your shoulders because we see all these guys recontort
stuff though.
Well, exactly. There'll be a disaster after that. And just look at what happened to Johnny. Look at what happened to Markel Fultz. It's just constant with these guys where they try and force an uncomfortable and an unnatural shooting position on these guys, and it leads to injury. Different conversation for a different day.
Yeah, I know. But we're that was just some therapy. We both needed that. Pat to Toronto's a good nice little fit.
Yeah, I was exclusively looking at bigs there. I looked at Sanak, but I just thought the context would help insulate Ngongba with how physical and active their perimeter defenders are, and that he would probably be able to not have to switch a whole lot in space. I think it'd be pretty tough to get on an island really consistently. I think his passing would fit in really nicely there, and then just the shot blocking would be a really nice addition for them because they're playing some really fun defense.
Look, I still, I mean, I like the Pat there. I think that's a good fit with Toronto. Just keep getting some bullies on the defense side of the ball. You get him and Colin Murray Boyles and Scotty Barnes together. Like, oof, defensively, very, very intriguing lengths and intelligence. I just went Sanak there, and look, I think I like Chris a lot more than most people. I think if he went back to Houston for another year, he could be a top 5 pick. I really do feel that way. And I'm already starting to see like he's starting to play some good basketball right now. You're starting to kind of see like he looks a little bit like things are clicking or slowing down on the court. It's not enough for me to be like, hey, I'm gonna get him back in my lottery. But I think he's starting to hit the boards right now. You hear some good stuff. Like he's coming into the year. We were like, Sanak's the wild card. Now, if they have a deep turning run and he's playing out of his mind, absolutely. I still want to see a little bit more offensively, but I just put him here to Toronto for right now because I was like, if I was Toronto and I wanted a big that has the potential down the road to all of a sudden return incredible value at was the 19th pick, I think it would be Sanak.
Yeah. Anything else on this range? Kareem Lopez and Guy Santos will be great buddies on the bench in Golden State. Doing the exact same thing. I'm kidding.
I don't like that pick. You know what I like went through like 5 names there. I was almost legit gonna give them Amen, which might make more sense now that I'm looking at it. But like I gave AJ to Banso to Atlanta at 2, and then I at 20. I was like, do they go big? Like maybe they should have gone big there. I just kind of looked and I was like, if you're Atlanta, do you just say like, hey, we're kind of mini rebuild? Like, do we just get another guy that could be an unbelievable return? And I think, some Hawks fans might be like, you're taking 2 forwards. And I'm like, well, I'm taking 2 really upside talents. Yeah. So I don't know. I just went Amen there. you could talk to me about like any other direction as well. Atlanta's going to be tough to figure out too, but I hate my Kareem Lopez pick. But I was like, what do the Warriors do? Like, I think I changed that one like 4 times, and I was like, well, I think Lopez will get one team to bite. Maybe it's Golden State, so we can move on. I'm sorry.
He definitely will. And I have so much of his film I have to catch up on. So I took an unnecessary dig at him, so I apologize.
No, look, he's putting up great numbers, and it's a 6'8" forward. You're thinking has some versatility. I think Golden State could kind of see like flashes of some guys they've had in the past that maybe like his game could be the same way. And I think he's a little tough, and I get it. He's not my cup of tea, but that's where I was just trying to be like, okay, well, what's this range if you're a team like this of like, are you maybe swinging a little bit, thinking you can kind of get some great value? And I was like, well, Kareem was probably one of those guys. Amen. I was like, I really liked that last game. I'm not ready to put him, skyrocketing back up my board yet. So I don't know. I don't know what way Golden State would go. I have no idea what this team's doing.
Fair. 21 through 25. Hit me.
Charlotte, I went Hans Steinbach. Minnesota, I went Cameron Carr.
Okay.
The Lakers, I went Pat Ngongba. The Boston Celtics, I went Joshua Jefferson. And the New York Knicks, I went Henry Vesar.
Alrighty. 21 to Charlotte, I went Cam Carr. 22 to the Timberwolves, I went Christian Anderson. 23 to the Lakers, Henry Vesar. 24 to the Celtics, Yaxel Lendeberg. 25 to the Knicks, Hannes Steinbeck.
As a Boston Celtics fan, I need to say this. The fact that you just put in to my head right now that that's a realistic possibility is I'll never forgive you for it. He'd be perfect for us.
He would.
Because he would be a psychopath. Mazzulla would make him a psychopath. He'd be great. I hate you for this episode. I hate you. Because it actually could happen. Now
he's not going top 10, folks.
No, look, I love him. I've got him around my top 12. I think I have him at 10 or 11 still because I love Yoxel. And it's more of I don't like anybody else to jump Yoxel still. He's not going there.
No, I have him at 19.
No, he's not going to go in the lottery, guys. I love Yoxel. You can show me all the film. He could be cooking. A 24-year-old rookie's not going to go top 12. Now, you could point to me at years where it might have happened with Chris Duarte. Was he right outside? Was he 14 or 15?
He was
originally to Indiana, I think, because they took him right in front of the Warriors, who I was like, that's going to be a perfect fit. And then the Warriors took Moses
13.
Moody, 13. Look, but like that year it looked like, the Warriors were going to take Duarte because it was like, well, they just need this type of guy and they're going to be back, contending and everything. That just never happens. And it always, when it does happen, it's like a thinner position with that draft. And I just don't see Yoxel in a draft like this going that high. I'm still pissed Nate Clifford went late, but he ended up with the Kings. So, Christian Anderson, huh?
Yeah, and he was by far the best point guard left on my list. I didn't think any of the bigs made a ton of sense here. I don't know if you've seen, but my boy Johan Berenger is playing some really nice basketball.
I'm not surprised. He's perfect. I like that. I really do like that. It's a good 2-man game.
But we also had a full year last year of Christian proving he can play off ball really well and really effectively. So I worry that he almost never creates without a screen. I worry about the kind of limited playmaking. Smart, efficient, disciplined playmaking, but it's not overly dynamic. He's not like really passing open guys outside of the direct 2-man game or, guys who are one pass away consistently. And I worry about the size, but I think all of that gets a little bit more insulated in that Timberwolves context. So why not, especially at 22?
I still think a different draft here. He might be going late lottery. And that's why we were talking about it earlier. Like this gets where like it could be a real conversation, or if he's getting like, hey, we're projecting you in the 20 to 30 range, which would be a nightmare if you're an agent to hear like, what do we do? Because Vicini put out a great article today, just kind of breaking down like the pay structure per slot, and he pointed out what we've been saying for months of like this class is stacked right now.
Yeah,
the NIL is going to very, very scary to deal with. So I don't know. I like that fit though. They started the Lakers. I like.
I thought he just made I thought about Hannes there, but as just like a pick and roll partner with Luca, I thought Vesar made way more sense with his rim running and also ability to pick and pop. Yeah,
It's a good one. Good one. No notes. I got nothing. I like that. It's funny how different. I can tell where your confidence went, and I feel like I can tell I know where my confidence started going. Like in the mock draft order, I feel like it gets so ugly so fast. And if you're gonna be a hater listening to this, like go make one. Tell me how deep you get.
26 through 30. Yeah, who you got?
Okay, we're getting weird. 26 to the OKC Thunder, who are up for the 14th time. I did Adai Mara. I'm off the rails now. 27 to the Denver Nuggets. I did Bennett Sturts. 28 to the Cleveland Cavaliers via the Spurs. I did Tunde Yesufu. 29 to the Detroit Basketball Pistons. I did Malik Thomas. And 30 to the Washington Wizards via OKC. I did Dalen Swain.
That's funny. To OKC at 26, I went Kareem Lopez. 27 to the Nuggets, I went Chris Senek. 28 to the Cavs, I went Isaiah Evans. 29 to the Pistons, I went Tyler Tanner. 30 to the Wizards, I went Dalen Swain.
That's too funny. Good Evans wild card. I need to catch up on his stuff. I feel like he's been a lot
better the last couple of weeks, and
I feel like he's been the Undertaker. Yeah,
all year.
Smart OKC pick. I just put Mara there because I needed the chuckle. I was like, what if they did this? I mean, my draft for them is Braylon Mullins, Perez Johnson, and Adai Mara. Just said, hey, you want some rebounding help? Here you go. Just Mara's their wild card. They just have Sorber, Perez, and look, I look now and I'm like, oh gosh, like you always want to change, but I also just think some teams you're like, I think they would just take best guy and be like, we don't care.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm like, well, yeah, like OKC would have like 15 bigs now. And it's like, well, yeah, but Mara's probably limited guy. You play with playmaking, you'd be unbelievable there. And Perez just as rocks. I don't know. What are you thinking?
The last pick I struggled with a little bit,
Me too.
But I kind of felt like I had to get Swain in. I have him a little lower than this, but not much. Chris Senek on the Nuggets, I would love for him. And
love that.
I don't think there could potentially be a better development spot for him.
Boston?
Yeah. Who have they ever made better?
Easy.
Sarcasm. Oh my God, you're so sensitive over there.
Easy.
I didn't have Tunde in my first.
It's he was the one I kept going back and forth.
It was close, but I just
really close. And I wish I remember right now who I was trying to get. I took him out a couple times, and I was like, I still think someone's gonna invest, even if we get colder. I still think an NBA team, because that's the tough part about doing this is like we're gonna have our opinion,
mm-hmm.
And every year, no ceilings, we're very, very adamant about something, and we get intel, and we get told like teams like this guy, and we're like, let's go back and watch. Let's see what we're missing. Like, why do they like him?
Yeah.
And things change so fast, and this, Metcalf, like the next coming months, things are going to change so rapidly. Like, they like this guy now, they don't. Now I still think teams like Tunde And I think teams will be like 6'5", strong, bucket. We'll deal with everything else.
Yeah, and he's
But
going to be a great interview. He's probably going to be good at the combine and in workouts because he's got
pro
a
day will
great
be
work
great.
ethic. He's a
Yep.
great athlete.
But
It's been awful this year. It's been really rough at Baylor, and there might need to be a different conversation had there, but today's not the day to do that.
look, I could have put Swain ahead of him, been fine with it.
Yeah.
I would probably say like, geez, there's probably like a range of 10 picks that I could be like, you could hit shuffle on these and I would understand it. It's just such a weird second half of the first round right now where it's like, it's going to be so dependent on teams' boards more because I think one team's going to have this guy, second on their board, like best remaining. Next team might have him at 8. It's just you're looking at stuff. I'm like, gosh, man, I don't have Kareem Lopez this high, but could I see him going here? Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk Tyler Tanner. You didn't have him in your first. I put him with the Pistons because just backup point guard. I think his defensive playmaking would fit right in with the athletes and size on the wing and stuff. I think they could insulate him a little bit. Why did you not have him in your first round when some are trying to push him top 10?
I mean, some. Look, I've done homework and I know where I would have liked to take him. And that's probably, if I loved him, I would like to take him with first picks in the second round. I would imagine if that's the feedback he got, he would be going back. And then, when you watch him, do I like Tyler Tanner? Yeah, he can play. Yeah. He can play. He's smart. He's really shifty through the lane. He gets downhill. I guess I understand how many dunks he's having on the year. Thank you for everyone for reminding me. I can see synergy too. It's great athleticism. You can't start the cell with the athleticism because eventually that athleticism is going to get worse because guys get older. So like, what is
it also
he if
means
he's not,
less from a 6-foot guard in shoes than a 6'3", 6'4" guard.
Absolutely. So I struggle with undersized guards that I don't buy being elite shooters. So that's where I really get like, if I'm going to take an undersized guard in the first round, you got to shoot it because you got to be able to make people pay when they're not respecting you. And I'm not there. Like, do I think Tyler Tanner can set the table and set guys up? Absolutely. Is he a smart player on the defensive side of the ball? Absolutely. But is the ultimate mouse in the house. When he gets switched on, and NBA teams will do that immediately. They will put a set to get him targeted right away. And what are we going to do? Like, oh, Tyler Tanner will be fine against Jokic. Come on, guys. Like, so I would love, if I was the team, I would love to get him in the early second round because I think there could be a really nice return on investment without putting my job on the line. Now, some people could be like, hey, you throw all these numbers at me and be like, top 20. Now, I'm good with that. And I've asked around after I came to that conclusion. I've asked around, and there's teams feel the same way. Teams are like, I'd like him in the back, middle to maybe early second round as a rotation guard. And he should not go to the draft if that's the truth. Like, he should go back to Vanderbilt and shoot the crap out of the ball next year and skyrocket upwards. Because I do like his game. I'm not rooting against any prospect ever, even Nate Ament. Even Nate, like, we always want these guys to succeed. So like Tanner, I think, is having an unbelievable year. He's awesome. You have him in your first round, good for you. Like, I get it. He's just not someone that I would be swinging on right now.
I totally agree. And I struggled to get him to 29. I have him lower than that on my board, but I wanted to kind of talk about him.
One more thing. There's not much difference between those ranges. So, like, look, I'm saying, hey, the first couple picks of the second round, I would just take him like a swing there, maybe like 35-ish, 35 to 29. Like, if you love a guy, if you well, take him at 29. Like, it's it's not that big of a difference. But I would just like to pair my first round pick with Tyler Tanner. Like I'd like to pick someone and be like, ooh, for a sweetener, I'm going to take a little swing on Tyler Tanner in the second round. But like I said, he should not declare if he's going to be, getting that feedback. So
Yeah.
I think he's a fun player. I think he's exciting. His numbers are great. His advanced numbers are awesome. There's a big obvious number that has to, come to the table.
And Vandy's another one of these schools with sneaky money that's like, go get that NIL check and be one of the best point guards again in college basketball. Because I don't think he's a first rounder this year. I know I snuck him into mine on this exercise, and he's having an incredible year. And I'm not trying to take away from that. He's at 39.1% from three on just under 8 attempts per 100, and that's a huge jump up from 26.5% last year. That's great, but to be 6 foot flat in shoes, you have to be a lethal on ball shooter, and he just isn't. He's low volume on ball. He's shooting 31.5% overall off the bounce, 28.6% from 2 off the bounce, and 33.3% from 3 off the bounce. He's always looking to get downhill, and he's incredible getting downhill. He gets to the rim whenever he wants, but I also feel like a lot of his playmaking is kind of mediocre. Like he plays a nice two-man game. He'll make some nice kickouts, but it's always whatever's directly in front of him. It's one pass away. It's the first read type stuff. He doesn't go through progressions. He doesn't consistently move defenders or manipulate stuff like that. And defensively, even ignoring the size, his hands are incredible. He's a super disruptive off ball. Like just the amount of steals and deflections he generates, really impressive stuff that I expect to translate. He can't navigate a screen to save his life. And that's before even factoring in that he's just going to get targeted relentlessly. So he's a nice player. He's having a really, really awesome year. Not trying to take away from that, but I think there are a lot of still glaring issues in his game when we talk about translating to the NBA that are too easily getting overlooked by some people right now.
And look, people are going to overreact to this, but it's fine. Here's the problem, and here's why we're being honest with the Tyler Tanner evaluation. The margin for error when you're undersized guard is it's razor thin.
You have to be perfect.
You have to be perfect. So like this is not me and you saying like we don't like Tyler Tanner as a prospect. We don't like Tyler Tanner's like in this guard class, and you're trying to say he's a top 20 guy because it's such a high percentage of it not working out. Because history has shown us it just teams will pick that apart. Like they'll be like, and you have to be so good because you have to counter one of the most important parts of the NBA right now, height. You have to counter that.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, one or two things. No, your whole game has to counter that because you're basically every single game you're going to be the target and you're going to have a disadvantage. So that's why, like, I think Tanner could make it in the NBA. I really do. But he needs to go back another year and shoot the crap out of the ball. And that's where he really could be a guy that I would swing on probably in the first round, probably top 25. If he went back next year and had a better year, which would be unbelievable, and shot it and really improved as a shooter, easily I would be like, let's get weird. I'll swing on Tyler Tanner. He's shown me enough. But right now, I just don't know if it's ready enough because I think Metcalf, and you can tell me if I'm crazy, if he goes to, let's say he goes to the NBA, he gets drafted 26th overall, and he just doesn't work as a rookie, that clock's going to tick faster than most guys. Because it's like, well, now we have a guy that doesn't look like he's finding his way and he's undersized guard. We can't play him. So I never want it to seem like we're just ripping on a guy because that's the furthest from the truth. I just don't. I think this is a really tough guard class to say, hey, let's put Tyler Tanner in the mix. He can be better than these other guys because all these other guys have advantage on him. So it's just tough.
Agreed. Any other thoughts on guys that didn't sneak in that we missed? Malik Thomas not in for me, just outside. Neo Avdilas fell completely out for me. I'm close to being done with that experience. Those were kind of
this or that, Neo or Tyler Tanner?
Oh, oh,
I'd take Tanner.
I have Tanner a couple spots higher.
I think I might have them back to back on my board, which is hilarious. Who else did you say? Yeah, Neo I had out.
Tunde I had out. Those are kind of the only big ones. I think everyone else after that is pretty up in the air.
You know, it got to a certain point where I really like a lot of these names kind of behind, but I was like, I don't think I'm getting you into the first round. Like I love Ryan Conwell, and I was like, I don't know if you're getting there.
Can't do it until guys start withdrawing. I can't get back up there.
Yeah, I mean, I've got him my early second. Really like Zuby Ejiofor. He's probably a second rounder, and like you're saying, guys withdraw. I'll throw a name that I think could get up there. How about that? Now, I'm projecting like March. We could be talking this like end of the first round. I think Krivas could get back up there.
Yeah. Weird player.
Weird player. I think he could get up there. Now, everything has to go right. He has to have an unbelievable tournament, and you got to have a team that's very like, we accept Krivas for what he is right now. We're not going to make him something that he's not.
He's the center version of Boogie Fland, and I'll let you take that how you will.
And on that note, I'm good. Wow.
He's very, very, very good at one thing or a couple things. And then just like shockingly bad at kind of an important one.
Yeah. I'm dumbfounded right now. So yeah, I look like Badunga for some, maybe Juke Harris. I really love Juke. But it gets a little dry.
Yeah. Well, you know what isn't dry? The No Ceilings Green Room, which is the most exclusive niche club, or the most exclusive club in niche basketball. No more than 14 get in. Once you are in, your spot is not guaranteed. You can be booted. Easiest way to be booted: injury. Having really, really bad vibes, because this is not our rankings. It is not our lottery rankings, even though only 14 get in, or no more than 14 get in. It's not based on our lottery rankings. It's based on production vibes, upside pedigree vibes, all that good stuff. Currently, we're only sitting at 9 players in there. They are Koa Pete, Caleb Wilson, LeBaron Philon, Cameron Carr, AJ DeBonsa, Darius Acuff, Christian Anderson, Kingston Flemings, Ibuka Okore. We got some cuts we need to make.
Okore's got to go.
Goodbye.
Okay.
But we kind of knew that going in.
Yeah, we knew it.
When we put him in last time, he had an awesome game. We were like, this isn't, if not now, it's never going to happen. So we knew it was going to be short-lived.
My sweet prince.
He burned bright.
He's
Icarus flew a little too close to the sun. I'm going to throw out Cam Carr as a potential. Your time may.
This is line or in? Oh yeah, he's in.
We're still talking about in.
I think Cam Carr's got to go.
All right. It's fun while it lasted.
He's on the off night candidate list.
I think I'm good after that.
Can you hit me with it one more time?
Koa Pete.
Oh. Okay, keep going.
Caleb Wilson, LeBaron Philon, AJ DeBonsa, Darius Acuff, Christian Anderson, Kingston Flemings.
Yeah, they're all hot, and Koa can't. I can't really kick Koa out yet, but he's
because like he'll have like that BYU this weekend. He's going to go off. I don't know who they're playing, but he's going to have a really good game because that's just what he does.
So if he plays good, he's going to get a statue in Tucson. I'm terrified of that game. That's the trap game, and ASU is just going to be the worst. So
are we good with those 7?
We're good.
Okay. In line, we have Cam Boozer, Thomas Houck, Keaton Wagler, Tyler Tanner, Josh Jefferson, Mirez Johnson, Amari Allen, John Blackwell. Anyone need to get booted from this line?
Blackwell, thanks.
Yeah.
He came in. He got into line, and he was like,
It's like it's not going to happen.
it's not going to happen. But he's like, the waits. How long? How long you guys been in line? And Cam Boozer's like, I've been here for months.
It's
the funniest joke I've ever made in my life.
Never getting in.
Never getting in. He's only getting in for one thing. I don't even know that. He's got one player of the year. That's the bit. He's got it one player of the year.
Anything else? Disappointment.
Anything else? Disappointment. Okay. Yeah. So I'm good with.
Okay. Who do you want to put? Who do you want to put in line?
Who else did you say in line? I feel like there was maybe one that I was like, no, Tyler Tanner needs to stay in line.
Yeah, I'm fine just leaving him there. Josh Jefferson.
He's fine.
All right.
I think he had a bad game and then he had a triple double, and I was like, okay, that'll keep you in line. Nominations, go.
Anyone you want to put in line?
That's what I'm saying. Who's your?
I'm gonna go with a real deep cut here. Darren Peterson.
No, he can't.
Yeah,
he's hurt. He missed the last game.
Nah,
he missed. No, the rules are rules.
Yeah, and without
rules, there's
he's
chaos.
Not in the club. He's not in the club. He's in line.
I don't know, man. Yeah, okay. I think
fine.
We're dancing.
I'll take him
gray
out.
Area.
Like, if he plays against BYU and has a good game, he's going right in.
I'll accept that. Now, what's a good game? Over 50% from the field?
It's rules
rules.
No, you know it when you see it.
Okay, I'm good with that. My nomination for the line is one Mr. Braden Burries.
That's the other name I was looking at.
Yeah, come on, man. We're lighting the revolution.
You know what? I'm gonna get weird.
Can I nominate another?
Yeah.
We're turning a leaf this episode, Metcalf. I'm gonna nominate one Dalen Swain.
All right. I'm gonna put Nate Ament in.
That's
in
a
line.
good one. That's a good one. Okay, so we got 4 in the line.
We got a good line here. I think Keaton Wagler has to get in.
I literally was like, wow, Wagler's in.
Yeah. You drop 46 in Mackey Arena as a freshman.
Yeah, I mean, geez, bottle service.
All right.
We're honored to have him in the green room.
Yeah, is the bouncer looked down the lines to see how long it was getting, saw Wagler's face, he pulled him out, immediately put him in. He's like, "Sir, I'm so sorry."
Like, Keaton, you son of a gun, what are you doing in line?
Yeah.
Get over here.
I'm sorry, I mistook you for my 12-year-old cousin.
Yeah, no, don't give me a tip. Just walk right in. I'll pay you to go in. Yeah, that's a good one. Gosh, Wagler, and look, everyone talks about that game, but like the tape on his game, the first start with Boswell out, I thought he struggled to shoot it and just was like throwing dimes everywhere. Oh my gosh, it was fantastic. That game was just as loud as an evaluator. I was like, oh man, here you go. This is a superstar.
So since we booted 2, do you want to add a second or no? So we're technically down 1 from when we started the episode.
Okay. Who are you thinking?
Well, not Cam Boozer because he's not player of the year.
No, he's been there for months.
Only other name who's scorching hot right now. Little bias here. Morez Johnson.
Yeah. I don't. If Morez doesn't get in,
again,
people love Morez.
This could very easily be a short-lived experience, but
is he in longer than Okori? Then I think it's a good candidate. People love Morez. We get a lot of people are like, "Gosh, finally someone likes Morez." I was like, "Welcome, bud.
Where have you been all year?
Welcome to No Ceilings. The water's warm here."
Like, I know you people listen. I see the numbers. I know you listen.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Morez is good. Good vibes.
Okay.
Good vibes. I also think the green room was very small.
Very small.
Size-wise small.
Yeah.
So we kind of almost leveled it out with one addition.
Yeah, Caleb Wilson is the tallest guy in there. Morez is now the heaviest.
We've got Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, aka we've got no meat. We got no strength in there. If our guys get into a scrap, we're in trouble. So we got to get Morez in there. Good vibes. That's a good one.
Okay. So we're back to even. currently in the green room: Coral Pete, Caleb Wilson, LeBaron Philon, AJ DeBonza, Darius Acuff, Christian Anderson, Kingston Flemings, Keaton Wagler, Morez Johnson. A lot of time left. So much basketball left to be played. We got some awesome games this weekend. We'll be doing night shift over on the No Ceilings YouTube channel after BYU Kansas. I know Steven's doing it. I should be able to make that one. I'm going to do what I can to be there. We'll be going live right after that game wraps up to recap that game. Huge matchup, but also a lot of the other fun games before that earlier in the day. Come by. It's a lot of fun. We let loose a little bit, get a little reactionary, have a little bit of fun. We even swear every now and then. I know the sailor in me comes back out. But until then, he is Tyler Rucker. You can follow him at Tyler_Rucker. I'm Tyler Metcalf. You can follow me at TMetcalf11. Find all our stuff, NoCeilingsNBA.com, No Ceilings YouTube, No Ceilings on socials. You guys are the best. Appreciate you all. Rate, review, subscribe, 5 stars, all that good stuff. Till next time. See ya.